Where is he?
Where are you? Skull Rock. Do you know it?
Hello, this is Stacy over at the Skull Rock broadcast. I am joined by...
Hello, this is Megan. Welcome back to our Stranger Things in Pop Culture podcast. And we are very excited to chat with you again this week, to chat with each other. We have a topic that I know Stacy has wanted to do for quite some time now. So she is
Hell to the yeah.
very thrilled that we're finally talking about this. But before we get into it, how's it going, Stace?
It's going really good, my friend. Happy Memorial Day weekend. We're recording this on Sunday of Memorial Day weekend. Things are going pretty good. I usually love Memorial Day weekend, and I told you about this, and I don't even know if I've talked about it before on the podcast. Probably. I have this weird tradition. I rewatch the Stephen King miniseries Rose Red, which came out in 2002. It takes place over Memorial Day weekend, and they say it once in one line. They're like, it's going to be an eventful Memorial Day weekend. My head, I'm like, that's a Memorial Day movie. So about a haunted house. So what I do is I always, like, this is so fucking weird. I always go out and buy fresh roses, which this year they didn't have red roses. They had peach ones.
They're very pretty. Yeah.
Crazy fucking overpriced. I was like just disgusted. I'm like, whatever. But I got roses and I actually watched it all on Friday. Usually I it's like 3 hours. I let it drift throughout the weekend. So when I finished it, I went, now what? So I have just been couch riding with Mr. Quinn and hanging out. I've been just like, I love me a squishy. If you're on TikTok, I guess it's a new craze with children, but we all know Stacy is an 8-year-old. This is a stick of butter that is scented like butter, if butter smelled like chemicals. And I have like a donut squishy. I have a crab. Like,
did you order these on TikTok?
No, they're usually fakes.
Oh, okay.
Miss Rachel got me a Nito, which those are like crazy people wait for hours outside of stores that carry them. Pizza. I've always been a squishy girly. I love silly putty slime.
She's showing me all of these squishies.
Which we're not doing video, so guys, so imagine me squishing a donut, a crab, and a stick of butter. But
the
I've
butter was kind
fidget.
of a mind fuck. I was like, what are you holding up? That actually looks
imagine?
like a stick of butter.
You're like, Stacy, what are you trying to heat it up with your hands? And I like try to bite it. It's some craze like TikTok thing because I actually was talking at 2 employees at the Learning Express, which if you show your teacher ID discount, shout out teachers, and they were like literally nonstop. The phone is ringing. Do you have Nitos? Do you have Nitos? Do you have Nitos? And I'm like, yeah, like they've always been around, but now there's some big like TikTok phase, trend where literally people are like, squishy haul, waited at 6 a.m. for Target to open, and they run towards it. It's like Cabbage Patch Dolls, which I just aged myself there.
Yeah,
but no, it's some new trend, and it's just so satisfying. But literally, the best is when somebody has like these long ass acrylic nails, and they're like squishing their Nito, and then they're like, it popped, and like just imagine me laying like a ghoul on my couch, and I'm like, no shit, Sherlock. So that I've been squishing sticks of butter and watching Rose Red. How are you doing?
Oh, that's so funny. I'm good. Just, spending a lot of time at the yoga studio, which has been nice. Drinking some protein shakes.
Guys, she was trying to she sent me the Amazon link and everything. She's like, protein.
That was for fiber.
Oh, fiber. And I'm like, girl, I don't need any help in that department.
Protein
and you're like, no,
fiber.
you do.
Those are the big things right now.
Now,
yoga,
is
protein, and fiber.
When you do yoga, or is it like, like Zen music?
Oh yeah. When I taught yoga, that was like one of my favorite things was making my playlist.
A playlist?
Yeah. I have so many good. I was actually listening to a bunch of my like yoga playlists this week. I was like kind of feeling a little nostalgic and a little sad, but like in a cathartic way, and kind of revisiting some music that I used to like. And I think that our music, I was listening to the music that we're going to talk about today, and that always makes me kind of sad. So I was just like leaning into that and like listening
I'm sad.
to all of these old playlists that I have, which a lot of them were playlists that I like made for yoga class and stuff. So yeah, there's music playing.
I'd be like blasting like Ice Cube and like DMX, and they'd be like, "This doesn't fit the vibe of yoga."
No,
And
I
I'm
mean,
like,
I
"Get
like
ready."
some upbeat music in my when it's like a fast paced, like hot class, like it's definitely like more upbeat music. So it's fun.
Literally, I remember that I'm such a white person. I remember watching an episode of Everybody Loves Raymond, and Raymond walks in on his wife, and she's listening to the Ice Castles, which was a movie about a blind ice skater. I'm not lying. It was wonderful. And she's listening to the theme song from the 70s, and she's crying. And he's like, "What's wrong?" She's like, "Sometimes you just need a good cry." And he just can't wrap his head around it. So at the end, he tries listening to it to like get in touch with his emotions. And instead, he listens to Lady Marmalade, and he's like dancing around all happy. He's like, "I can't do it."
Yeah.
And I'm like,
there was also my friend who just had a baby who is really into the new Mumford and Sons album that has come out.
"That's pretty white person."
Yeah, but like I listened
"Below My Feet."
I
Right?
listened to it and it was pretty good. And there was one song, Alley Cat maybe, and I like had never heard it before. Was just like listening
Yeah.
on my way to work, and like something about that song like just hit me, and I was just like sobbing. And
Oh my God.
yeah,
Wow.
like so I don't know.
This is
I was
on brand for this episode.
yeah, I was definitely having lots of like emotional reactions to music this week. I was going through it a little bit, but I also took a little social media break, which I did want to mention it here. I definitely think like we need to like normalize just like taking a break from social media and like not like mentioning it. Like you don't need to like announce.
Yeah, guys, this ain't the airport. Like, we don't need to hear your departure or arrival. Like, I sometimes tell my friends, like, because they usually just message me to check if I'm alive.
Yeah,
Like, really?
exactly.
Seriously?
I feel like you were the only one who really knew that I was like taking a break, and luckily I had you to like message with when I was like going through withdrawals, but like it was nice.
I'm like, let me describe to you like the Nito TikTok.
At one point
It was
she
funny.
was like, "Look at my comment on this post," and I
I'm
was
such
like,
an idiot.
Stacey,
You're like,
all
I'm
I've been talking about is this break
Yep.
that I'm taking this week, and you're telling me to look at your comment.
Do you love that I'm like, you're lucky I still know your name? And then Miss High and Mighty, I took a social media break. Literally, I went, "It happened again, Megan, last night. My legs fell asleep in the bathroom. I was on the toilet too long." And she like, because, you know, she took a break, guys. She went, "You need to leave your phone out of the bathroom." And I'm like, that's like telling Stacey not to breathe oxygen. Leave me alone. You know, if I fall, I fall. Hopefully I flush the toilet before doing
But
so.
if you know if you noticed that Stacey was outside looking at nature, that was because me 6 hours
Yep.
into a social media break was outside looking at the moon.
touching grass and looking at the moon. Do you love that? If you rewatch that video, it was the reflection of the camera lens from the street lamp. I thought I saw a shooting star. So you hear me go, "Is that?" And then I like didn't want to admit I thought I saw a shooting star. I'll have to post this the weekend this episode goes, send it to you. But literally I go, "Is that?" And then I realize how stupid I am, and I go, "Nope, that's a street lamp, not the moon." I thought it was a shooting star. But it looked really cool. Right away, I'm like, she goes, "Go outside. It looks so pretty. You can see like what, Venus?"
Yeah,
right?
Venus was really
And
bright.
I'm watching Schitt's Creek eating banana nut bread slathered in peanut butter, and I'm like, I don't know, man. Like you took such beautiful pictures. How can I top that? And I'm like, get up, you fat piece of shit, and go look at the moon, because you know I'm a moon girly. And I gotta tell you right away, like, so I sent it to my sister. And you know how you showed me like the app that shows like, all right, this is the moon, this is Venus, blah blah
Yeah.
blah. She thought I took that picture. She goes, "That is gorgeous," and I'm like, should I tell her? And instead I'm like, yeah, I know, I'm really talented. Thanks.
Yeah. So, but then it's just been like rainy in the rest of the week.
Oh,
so,
it's miserable here.
yeah, definitely ready for some sunshine. Like, I need to go back outside. Leia's like going stir crazy. So hopefully the weather will get better again soon. But yeah, it's been an interesting week, but
Yeah.
we're on the other side of it.
Great time to listen to the Crux Deluxe, huh? You know?
Yeah, I think honestly, me trying to like listen to the Crux Deluxe Monday morning might have been what triggered all of my emotions.
Literally, I'm like, this is her 13th reason. I'm like, oh shit, maybe this wasn't a good idea.
Yeah, the Crux Deluxe is, it's something. Which, spoiler alert, that's
We're talking about the Crux Deluxe.
talking about the Crux Deluxe, which has been out for what, like 6 months?
Yeah.
8 months?
That was such a surprise, too, because, like, I was telling a few people, like, when it came out, because first what he was doing is he was teasing. He was doing, like, and I'll be the first one to say it, they were fucking annoying the way they were going about it. It was, like, him and Jake are more. And then it's live, and there's no talking, and it's just, like, a computer screen. And I'm sorry, guys, nothing against the Joe fandom. The lives have always been like, they're insufferable now. Because imagine a million fangirls, and they're like all like some of the shit that's being typed is cringy and really shouldn't be put in a live. But I'm like, you do you. But it's like, just pick me energy. Like, I need him to notice me. I'm like, he's not even in front of the goddamn camera. Like, no one is talking. And like, you know what's bad? That even Stacy is like, no, I'm not doing this.
I didn't watch any of them. Like, I remember.
You were like, this is stupid.
I was like,
I
was like, he's doing something here. He's teasing something, but like, right now, I don't really need more. Like, I had so much Joe. And that was what I was going to say, too. Like, we were so pumped for the Crux. Like,
I got donuts, baby.
We had nothing from Joe for years.
And
we had no tour. We were like manifesting all of that shit. We were like, we want this. We want this. So when the Crux was coming out, we were so excited. But then like I went to like 5 shows and like I had
there's such thing as
oversaturation.
Oversaturation. And I even said that because I remember like a few of us, not that we weren't excited, but we're almost like, what? Oh, and I said, it doesn't make what they're doing not exciting, and it doesn't make us, bad fans. But honestly, like you said, from January of 2025 onward, leading up to that spring, we had gone years without music. He was teasing things. It was after, End of Beginning went viral and people began to notice Joe. And he's like, I'm planning an album. I got new stuff coming. It's coming. It's coming. Then we have all the hype and the teasers and the photos and this and that. Then we had the singles come out. Then we had the album come out. Then we had the tour, the Back on You tour start. Then we have his appearances on late night performing. Then we start going to shows. Then next thing and me personally, I did Denver and Boston. And which shows did you go for just Back on You?
I did Denver, DC, Philly, 2 Brooklyn shows. So I literally had gone to 5. Plus, I already in September had tickets for the Another Bite tour. So it's not like I wasn't going through any sort of withdrawal here. I had plenty of Joe.
It was literally Joe. And I know we were doing the mini episodes because we're fans. We're pumped, and it was such what a time to be alive. And then we were geeking out about his music. But like you said, then it was a world tour. So we kind of got to see all the content of him, overseas. Then he announced Another Bite, which I'm so glad he did. And we went to go see him in New Haven, and we saw him at music festivals for All Things Go.
Which that was all after the Crux Deluxe came out. But just speaking about it was the year of Joe. So when the Crux Deluxe was coming out, it was not necessarily a time where I was craving more. I was I had quite enough. So it was exciting, but in a weird way. And I
It definitely is. We know, your hyperfixation was, still a huge fan, but slightly shifting. And for even the most hardcore Joe fans like myself, I remember just going through it. I was kind of depressed. Little did I know the horrors that awaited. I'm laying on my couch. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And people are like, well, maybe he's going to do a record store day album like he did with Decide. I'm like, well, that'd be cool. I'm a vinyl collector. And then the singles came out.
Yeah, which it was Boom Boom Boom. I wrote the dates down.
Can you tell me what dates they were?
Yeah, it was September 8th was Carry the Name.
Okay.
And then It's Over came out the next day on the 9th. And then Awake came out the next day on the 10th. And then 2 days later on September 12th was the whole album. So it was all in a 5-day span.
Lot.
And I, like you said, Carry the Name and It's Over, they're good songs, but they were definitely a different vibe.
And Awake sounded like nothing I had ever heard. Everyone was like, this is his Kurt Cobain song, his Nirvana song. It's very grungy and gritty.
I loved Awake. I loved
it.
That was my favorite of the 3 singles that came out,
Mhm.
but I was just like, this is different. This is
What's going on
yeah,
here? Yeah.
yeah. So like when the Crux Deluxe came out, I feel like I listened to it, but it wasn't like my immediate favorite, like the Crux. I didn't like have it on
Yeah.
repeat like over and over. So
I'm guilty of that too, because I remember I literally was like, 'cause a lot of people were like, is it just me? And I'm like, no, you're not alone. It's not that we're like on a Joe overload. It's just this all happened very quickly. This was like, I always say we are spoiled as Joe fans, because most people would be like, you got how many more songs? That's amazing. And yes, it is. But I remember listening to it, and this is before it even came out on physical media. And I was like, okay, like there's a handful of songs I like, which still rings true. The Crux is a no-skip album. Sometimes Golden Line, if I'm really going through it, I skip that one just because I don't want to cry.
yeah.
But with the Crux Deluxe, I was like, I don't quite know how I feel about this.
And I think a lot of the songs on the Crux Deluxe have the same vibes as Golden Line. So
Yep. So right away, I'm like, and I feel like if you're going through it, which many of us have, I feel like listening to, and I don't like to call it the prequel album because it's actually part one of an album. And it's like, I like that he even said, he goes, these were like, what I at first was like, no, this isn't going to mesh well and stuff. I want to tell a story. I want to tell a journey. And when we dove into the original Crux, because we're going to refer to the Crux as the original in April, we were like, oh, it's a journey. He just went through something life altering. He's struggling up. He's leaning on his friends and family. Now he's, climbing, out of the Crux Hotel. He's now come to the other side of things. Okay, told a story. And you and I even had that discussion. You were like, I kind of like when he's going through it, which is hilarious because of how you felt about the album initially. And I'm like, I love that he's leaning on his friends, buddy. But then right away I went, so this was all supposed to be one big album. And then he was like, no, fuck it, I'm going to tell the whole story. This is what came before the Crux when I started my emotional healing journey. This is when I was fucking going through it. It was gritty. It was dark. And I'm sorry, brilliant with the album cover, and we both agree it's his best album cover.
I love the album cover so much too, and it's funny because it kind of hits different because you can listen to the original Crux on the Crux Deluxe because it has like the whole original Crux also. So I kind of love listening to like the Crux with this album cover.
It's literally, it throws me off because like I'm still in it. iTunes girly, like I'm on Apple Music and Spotify, they melded the albums together because it is one big album.
Yeah.
So if you hit shuffle, your emotions are all over the place. But if you listen to it as one big whole, you're like, I just went on a journey with Joe.
Yeah.
I can see the progression,
Because it's nice to like go through the Crux Deluxe, but then like, Lonesome is a State of Mind starts and it's like you kind of come back out of it and it's sort of like very refreshing.
On the other side.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's definitely
the storm
fun.
has passed.
Yeah. But I told Stacey this week that my review of the album, and this
Here
is
we go.
as lovingly, I mean this in a loving way, sad and weird.
Yeah, I think that sums it up pretty well. I think that's perfectly said, and I know this definitely wasn't for everybody, and it might have had, the response was maybe a little mixed. I myself, it took a while to warm up to. I've listened to it more, but there's still some songs I just don't like off it, and nothing wrong with that. I think with this, it definitely showed his range for sure, that he's like, genre bending, and there's all different, like, beats and styles of music and stuff. He definitely went back to the bells and whistles.
He went back to a little bit of like more of the electronic stuff of his like old albums. But then there's also still those like classic rock like references, but like
folky stuff.
Yeah, like I almost was thinking more like Fleetwood Mac in a couple of the songs. He even mentioned like Carole King being like a big influence, which I always just think of Carole King as like the Gilmore Girls theme song, but like
I had no idea. Wow.
When you're out on the road, feeling lonely and so cold.
I'm leaving the studio.
All you gotta do is call my name and I'll be there on the next train where you lead.
No.
I will follow. No. Okay, I'm done.
Guys, we have referenced Gilmore Girls and Joe multiple times.
I know.
I feel I feel like as a man who grew up with siblings, all sisters, that kind of tracks. No, I noticed definitely like there was definitely some songs that definitely, sounded like the same, artists that inspired him with the crux, such as the Beatles, but then you got a little bit of Nirvana, folk music, Supertramp, ELO, Radiohead,
Yeah.
Charlie XCS, Tale Impala, Depeche Mode, the Pet Shop Boys, like the Pep Shop, like
Shop.
the tire company. Pet Shop Boys. Definitely. And like, we never try to pretend we fucking know Joe. We're not nuts. But like, it's kind of out there what he was going through. And he even said, like, I was going through a lot of life changes and stuff. And I think this album shows, like, what happens when you have a huge life change and stuff. A long-term relationship was ending. Breakups are always hard no matter what the circumstances are. He moved from Los Angeles, relocating in a new city. Stranger Things was coming to an end. He worked on this album entering his 30s. And if anybody ever is like leaving their comfort zone, especially if they're really going through it with mental health or like, a big life change, you definitely need to almost like find a way to find an outlet or a way to like get it out of you. And I think he did that. And maybe at first he was like, this is really dark. And like, I was really going through it. I need to be more selective. But now it's kind of cool to see like, the anger, the heartbreak, the sassiness and stuff. And then, like you said, it slowly has that bridge to the crux where he's still a little sassy and, heartbroken and jaded. But then he starts going, I have family, I have friends, I have this, I'm so blessed with this career. But it's a career in the media. And I'm in the spotlight, and that's a lot. People expect something from you, and it's a lot of pressure, So I think, like, just especially with mental health and stuff, even social media, I think it was interesting. I heard T-Rex is Loud. I think it's an okay song. That's the first track. And we're not going to do every single song. We're going to talk about the tracks that we liked. But I know T-Rex is Loud, I heard, was actually a deleted song that was originally supposed to be on Decide.
Oh, cool. I didn't know that. And I included that on so I did a couple posts on my Instagram this week about like the lyrics as I was kind of like diving a little bit deeper into the lyrics because like you said, I totally agree that like this album was very like going through that heartbreak and like the crux is more like reflecting on the heartbreak once it's over and moving away from it, but like this is when you're really going through the heartbreak and a lot of the lyrics are really dense and sometimes a little unexpected, a little weird, and I think that that's part of the reason I couldn't like connect with it initially also is because I really feel like I need to know what the lyrics are to a song. I mean, I was like jamming and enjoying the music, but to really connect to a song, I really have to like understand the lyrics to a certain extent. So
I agree.
I think this was fun now that I've spent a little bit more time with the album throughout the months and then was able to like deep dive on the lyrics a little bit more this week. I did like the 5 saddest lyrics that I thought on the album. And then I also did like the 5 weirdest. And I wanted to include the one lyric from T-Rex is Loud because I didn't really know at first what it was talking about.
Yeah.
And like some people are like, well, that's not a weird lyric. Like it's very clear. But like if you don't know the band T-Rex and you don't know who the singer in the band T-Rex, Mark Bolan,
dinosaur?
Right. Like you're not gonna get it. And so I wanted to include it so that there could be like some conversation about that and maybe people who didn't understand that lyric could sort of then understand it, which it's interesting because what he's saying is like he really likes this music, this band T-Rex, and like he thought that the guy who was making this music was really onto something and that he was enjoying it. And I really kind of like now appreciate that song a little bit more, that I understand it because it's almost like a song about appreciating music, like which is
music can be very therapeutic and stuff like we just said. Like sometimes you just need a good cry, sometimes you need to listen to something and just scream and belt it out. Sometimes you need to listen to something comforting and soft and stuff, but music can trigger a lot of memory. And I think if you connect with an artist and stuff, that's really good.
Yeah. So I definitely, I always thought that was a really catchy song, but I sort of understand it a little bit better now, and I feel like I can connect with it a little bit more and appreciate it a little bit more now. So
100%.
yeah, it's a cool song.
That lyric, please tell me things are going to get easier. I'm like, you said it, Joe. I hope so too, man.
Yeah, and that was one of the ones that I put on my 5 saddest lyrics on the Crux Deluxe. That was one of the lyrics that I think sort of triggered my whole like emotional breakdown this week.
You're like, me too, Joe. Well, I just want to touch upon the album cover one more time. It's the Crux Deluxe at night, and it's got the neon sign and stuff. And I thought that was so clever. Besides the doorman, who I was convinced it was going to be called like OK Doorman. I'm an idiot. They have no characters, but I love that like you see Joe in the window, like, leave on a light for me. I thought there was an octopus in one of the windows. Really, it's, I think, like Charlie's Garden or Flowers. I don't fucking know. And people were like, why is the actual Crux, the original album, in the trash? You know what? It's probably because this was before this happened and stuff. Like, I'm not going to, like, analyze the cover and stuff, and we didn't have as much time to do so, like, with the original. But I love the overall vibe of it. Like, it's very moody, and it reminds me of one of those 1980s, like, thrillers that take place in the city. Like, I love whenever it looks like it just rained, and you can see the reflection of the neon and the lights on the, like, wet pavement. Just the colors that he used and stuff, it's very moody. It's a vibe, and definitely, you know, like, this is going to be completely different than the well-lit, over Easter egged, you know, Crux, which takes place in broad daylight. So I think that whole theme is really, really cool and stuff. So I know you and I really, really love that album cover, and we're like, how can you beat that beautiful photography?
So you brought up the please tell me things get easier. Like,
yeah,
I'm not so sure. Like that I'm not so sure part like really kills me. But like that's
Girl.
In T-Rex is Loud. So
yep.
I also thought I'm Better Without You No More is pretty devastating. That's Love Can't Break the Spell, right?
That, yes, I believe so. That one's a really heartbreaking song. Yeah.
Took some time to realize and get right out the door. So see you later. Live and be well. I salute the time we had, but love can't break the spell. That whole song. I mean, it starts off with like literally, I'm sad, which I made fun of a lot. Like, and by made fun of, I just mean like teased lovingly.
You saying that to Abby in line at New Haven, I'm sad. And in my head, I'm like, you bitches, that album is genius. And in my head, I'm like, honestly, like, I get it, because a lot of people are like, we get it, dude. But, like, again, we have to understand this was the beginning of that emotional journey when things were still so fresh and raw, you know?
And I mean, we really were like, we were laughing about it in Kansas City too, because he ended up sound checking this song when we heard the sound check from Kansas City, and it was funny. We were like, oh my gosh, is he gonna play that? But he didn't. I think he ended up playing it somewhere at the end of the Another Bite tour, but it's just a song that's like so clearly about a relationship ending and how devastating that is. And it like sort of accurately like represents all of those emotions. So it's like it cuts deep for sure.
That's definitely like, remember when we talked about Delete Ya, and that's on the original Crux, where he's literally like, you know, basically we're sitting on our living room floor, one of us is about to move out, we said everything there needs to be said, or the line about like, my dog lives somewhere else, and I'm like, this is heartbreaking. Little did I fucking know the horrors that he was going to release.
Yeah. Carry the Name again is just like, I mean, how I don't even have any words for just like how accurately it just represents like that feeling that you have after
devastating
a relationship
heartbreak.
Ends. Yeah, and the lyric, because it's pictures of you that I'm scared of, just because like, you know, looking you know, if you go back and you look at photographs of like when you were happy with someone, or like it's just it
and you
hurts.
remember too, like you remember the good times, I feel, and also no matter what the circumstances were with a breakup ending, I mean a breakup or a relationship ending, especially long term, you're not only mourning that person and the life you had, you're mourning also, you know, that life you were living, like their family and the connections and relationships you made, you know, the friends that you had made together, those friend circles, also like where you were living that life and even that possible future you're going to have with them. So when everything is flipped on its head, like I'm telling you, usually when I break up with somebody, like I'm that asshole that I'm like, this either just angers me or just like depresses me, out of sight, out of mind, which coping, whatever, you do you. But sometimes I even get too nostalgic if I look back at a time when like financially I was doing better or health-wise I was doing better, you know, let alone somebody I broke up with or someone who no longer is with us. So imagine like that person is also in the media too. It's almost there's no fucking escape.
Yeah.
You know, that's tough.
That song too can also sort of be about, like, if you interpret it in a different way, it could be anybody you lost, even like through like somebody dying or something like that, because it's you're just going to carry that name with you and like keep that person in your heart even after they're gone. So it's like you can definitely interpret it and like make it personal to you, which is the beauty of like Joe's music, and just the beauty of music in general is like it can be so specific, but then other people can relate to it in so many different ways. I specifically remember when It's Over came out, which was the second single. Monica, before I listened to it, Monica texted me like something about Joe singing about crying doing laundry, and I was like, what is happening? But so the lyric is, and I'll fold the clothes because you know where they go. And like,
oh my God, my heart.
It's just like those mundane,
that just painted a picture.
Those mundane tasks that you would do with someone that you're in a relationship with, that you're now sad about remembering because this relationship is over. It's over.
Now you're doing laundry alone. You're fluffing and folding. Yeah. And you're like, motherfucker.
And you have to put them away also.
I mean, it's so goddamn depressing, but it's so true, guys. It's so true. Like, the worst is, like, not that I ever did this with an ex, but, like, going, like, to the supermarket. Like, you see those couples, they either want to kill each other, or they're just so in love, just like putting their canned goods in the carriage. And the next thing you know, like, cut to it, that ending, and that person's now alone shopping. And they're like, I hate my fucking life. Like, this used to be a cute, joyous event. Now, these regular tasks, like anything can trigger a memory of this person, you know?
Yeah.
And it just, you're like, I cannot escape this. Like, this sucks.
Yeah. So then the last one, which is probably one of my favorite lyrics on the whole album, is In Who You Are, which is a really beautiful song. I'm just like, I'm rereading the lyrics in front of me right now. And
you're like, damn.
They're just like, but same thing. I mean, all of these are like the common theme, but the lyric that I think is really beautiful is, thought that the world was like a circle. Shouldn't loose ends come back to mend?
That's beautiful.
Because it's like, sometimes it's hard when things are left and things don't get tied up nicely.
Exactly. There's no closure to a degree.
Exactly. So you expect like there to be that closure and for those loose ends to get tied up, and they just don't sometimes. And then
you're always like, I hate how that ended. I hate the last time we spoke.
Yeah.
You know, like, and you're like, if I wish we had gotten one more time, you know, where we were able to say this, and that, you know, let it be out of anger or sadness or love. And you're like, oh, that was so messy.
Yeah.
But that's life. Life's messy.
And the second part of that verse is, I was naive, unsure about it, still am, the end. Which is like so satisfying too, though, to hear. Like, it's like just the cadence of those words in the song, just like, it's like fun to sing along to, but it's also like, it just hits like it's tough. So
It's tough. Like, and I really have to, like, tip my hat off to Joe that he, kind of like bared his soul and this like journey, both like, personally and mentally, on how he went about things and how he healed. Because like you said, there's a lot of different journeys for everybody. It could be a friendship ending. It could be a death, and your grief. It could be how you associated even a fandom or let alone maybe a job, and like you said, that's the beauty of Joe's music. You can, wonder what he was going through, which is pretty clear, or what, you've gone through that you can relate to. And seeing that journey coming on to the other side and stuff, like literally, I remember like, this is, dealing with grief, but when you first lose somebody, literally, you're like, this is the end of the world. This is devastating. And it doesn't like ever go away. Stephen King once said like that horrible, sharp, like devastating pain slowly over time goes to a dull ache. And it's so true. Like time, as cliche as this is, does heal and make it tolerable, not better, And if you had talked to me right after I lost my dad or right after I lost my mom, girly wasn't doing good. And then you look at how far you've come, even just making memories with your friends and waking up every day and doing like laundry and taking out the trash and stuff. You're like, no, I'm proud of myself. I've come a long way from where I was last year. So I think Joe showing that process, like literally some of those lines, you couldn't help but be like, wow, like I can feel that. Like you really were in pain when you wrote this, which, exposing that side of your life, that's vulnerable,
So then on the other side of the coin, I feel like some of these lyrics that are very weird are more like your favorite songs on the album.
Of course.
But they are very fun. So, I mean, we have to talk about Mr. Montebank.
Don't mind if I do, baby girl. Montebank? That's how you say it? Okay,
I guess.
I've been I'm like mountain. I'm like, but that's a mountain. Reading.
Who even knows? I don't know.
Who even know? Joe, it is what it is, Joe. I mean, it's pronounced Joe. I'm like, sure, Jan. When I got out of it, we'll talk about your weird lyric in a minute. I saw it as like an outlook on being in the entertainment business in the public eye. And there was like a lyric like, is it a weasel or Mr.
Montebank?
Yeah, sure. You're gonna
check the literature before you copulate.
Yeah. Oh my God. I can't. Goodbye. Put that on a bumper sticker. And it might it questions like maybe people's motives and intentions trying to get close to you. Let it be fans, friends, people in the industry. And that's probably why. And I've heard he keeps his circle very small, and it's a majority of people that he's known for years that he can trust, which is smart. And literally, I'm like, yeah, it's probably like, the fame it up, televise, like, morph into being marketable and profitable to the masses. And like, literally, he always says like Stranger Things was my big break. That was like crazy luck. And we always talk about how, he completely changed the fate of Steve Harrington. He was supposed to die. He had one of the best character arcs, at least until season 5. His charm and his talent made him last and stay on that show the way he did. But also, like, you have to commend him that when he started, taking other projects on, he didn't want to fall into that, being pigeonholed and being like typecasted. So he took on Spree or independent projects like Marmalade and stuff. And then with his music, because I'm sorry, like, the mom jokes got old. The hair questions, you can tell he wants to pull out his hair. But also, like, he probably can't just be like a regular dude drinking and ripping cigarettes outside a bar, because then people are like, but you're the babysitter. You're Steve Harrington. You're on this Netflix show. So you have to kind of like watch yourself and how, like, let it be media training or how you're seen in the public eye. And you're almost like, am I just like making like a fake front to be professional? And like, is this what the fans think I am? Like, do they think I'm really Steve Harrington? So I think like, he was originally written to be the stereotypical like, jock asshole boyfriend who like rapes Nancy, which I've read the script and you're like, people, come on, settle down. I'm like, oh no. She's like, I've never done this before, Steve. And he takes a condom out and everyone's like, disgusting. And I'm like, Was he supposed to be like, I'm gonna spit in your mouth? Like, I'm sorry, grow the fuck up, people. But the verse, the second verse is perfection when Joe's voice sounds, does the golden spoon do it the same as the silver enough? Does it mean like I was born with a silver spoon in my mouth? Does it mean little tiny Coke spoon? Does it mean the golden ticket of, the stars aligning and getting this big break? I think it's really interesting, like how people see you or how you want to be seen.
Yeah, definitely a lot to sort of like, this song, I just can't even like it.
Is that the one about the jelly roll?
Yeah, it's too much. It's,
you mean wash out glory hole, piss pot, feeling like a jelly roll?
I'm not getting that tattooed on me. Thank you. But
I'm going to say this 1,000 times, that lyric, because it's your favorite lyric. Every time she says that lyric, guys, it looks like she smells shit. She was so disgusted. She goes, we're talking Monica waiting in line for New Haven. She goes, I don't like that. I don't like that. And I'm like, the glory hole, the piss pot feeling like a jelly roll, because that's rhyming like, magic. And you're like, I don't like that.
So I do like, the whole bridge is crazy. The whole song is crazy, but like in a good way, but it's just a lot.
Yeah.
And like you said, there's a lot to think about, a lot that he might have been like referencing in his life. But like the bridge, cast it out, fade away, wish that I could wish my little wish away, tap out for you, but it's taking everything right out of me. So just sort of like those regrets or whatever. I love this part. In a way, who's the cuck if I watch a good thing getting fucked? I love that rhyme. I love just that visual, and
him
watching
a
chair. Good thing getting fucked, like it, like not literally, but like in a figurative way.
Do you remember, you cut it out of one of the Joe mini episodes, it was either with Eva or Jill, where I was like, crux kind of sounds like cuck. I go, when you sit in the chair and you watch people get fucked, you look horrified because it's the first time I'm talking to them.
Literally Joe ends up putting it in a fucking song.
I was thinking knocked up when they're high on shrooms, and Paul
chairs.
Rudd is like, there are 6 different chairs.
I'm like, Cirque du Soleil in Las Vegas.
Yep. There are 6 different kinds of chairs. And I'm like, they're all cuck chairs. Like, as soon as I go into a hotel room, I'm like, there's the cuck chair. But yeah, you're right. It doesn't have to be literal, like you're watching somebody get fucked. But what if you're watching what was a good thing, and now it's been fucked over.
Exactly.
It's been just violated.
Which that's what I love about that lyric. But then the whole washed out glory hole, piss pot feeling like a jelly roll. It's just like, what are we doing here?
I'm going to write it in The Shining over and over and over again on a typewriter and send it to you in manuscript form. So you're welcome. Happy birthday.
It's a lot. But anyway, that song is
using a glory hole while eating a jelly roll.
It's a lot.
Let that sink in.
I think my title of this episode right now is It's a Lot.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
Let's move on from that song. Another very controversial lyric is in Purgatory Silver Star.
That was my next one. Okay.
Great song.
Probably my favorite.
I think it's one of my top songs also. But in the lyric video, the visualizer, it says, this is the lyric: I'm a vacuumed, sealed body bag in a crafted metal polywog.
Joe, sit down.
But some people in my comments were saying that in the lyric video visualizer that they were watching, it said a different lyric, something about a metabolic way or something like that.
I've heard the metabolic. Yeah, I don't know, man.
I will send you a screenshot this moment.
You, girly.
Because I'm literally sending it to you right now.
Did you go on Genius or whatever that?
I have Genius up in front of me right now, but also this screenshot that I literally just sent you is from the official Joe visualizer on YouTube for this song. In a crafted metal polywog.
It just looks so funny up against smoke and buildings. That's so funny. That's a mood.
Polywag is a Pokemon.
It's also from Stranger Things, the polywog.
No, but that's polywog.
Except
with an O.
Fuck you.
Like, that's like a
Me.
tadpole
Fuck you.
type situation.
I was going to be like, metamorphosis. This all comes together.
Like,
wow, it should have been that
if you
word.
Google
Sorry.
that Poliwag with an A, all it is a Pokemon.
Well, you know what? He was probably a Pokemon boy. He probably cried too during the movie like you.
I mean, maybe, but I do like...
You just admitting that to me and me looking at you going, yeah? And you're like, I got so emotional.
It's an emotional ending. Shut the fuck up. So the next
get your
lyric
mom.
after that I really like, though. It's salutations to the old world, 100 oysters.
I love salutations.
For a single pearl. Love that.
That's probably my favorite lyric. And like, I love that it starts off almost sounding like a folky seaside tale. I'm like, you picture like ugly fisherman wearing his, raincoat.
Yeah.
Like, on his little guitar. And I'm like, I could see eating a lobster roll, like jamming out to this. And the fact that it sounds like almost like 2 to 3 different kinds of completely different songs.
Yeah.
Like, and the guitar riff at one point, amazing. But it's clearly about heartbreak and like relationships ending and how lost and adrift at sea you feel. Wink, wink. And, since you didn't, since you lost this person, let it be in any shape, way, or form, you're mourning obviously everything. But the tragedy, the self-blame, originally feeling maybe that all that time with that person was a waste, and the hurt and how like scorned you are, and then the heads in the cloud, feet off the floor. Like, that's a feeling when you're in love, when like the relationship's new and everything is just mystical, and your head is in the clouds and you're in love, you feel light of air. And then the interlude happens and it just gets really moody and intense. And I really, first of all, never noticed the burp, by the way.
Yeah.
Never noticed that.
Life
Classy.
keeps swallowing. That's why I learned to cook. And then he burps.
Which I almost want to be like, do you mean like, is it the double meaning? Like, physically how to cook? Like, did you and that person cook together? Or learning how to cook, like, guess what? Now I'm going to show you I'm good at this. Watch me drop some beats.
Yeah, but isn't
white
it
boy.
like you're cooked is like a bad thing now too? I don't know all
he
the
was
Gen
pretty
Z
cooked at that point.
slang.
I know, guys. Teach us. Yeah. But the 1,000 oysters for a single pearl, it's almost like the whole, you got to kiss 1,000 frogs before you meet your prince. The dating pool is complete shit, let alone if you're in the, the public eye. So maybe at first you were like, this is great. And you know what? Oysters are fucking gross. And
I love oysters.
You wanted to eat oysters in Denver, I would have definitely shit my pants at my first Joe concert.
They're so good. Love raw oysters.
They would have had to evacuated the entire building. Moving on.
Gross. Okay. Can we talk about Grime of the World?
Yeah, go for it.
This song is cool.
It is cool.
I love the lyric. It starts, man's basic, I mean it. He's vacant, gone fishing. Eve needs a replacement. Like, I feel like this whole song is about men suck. And I'm like so here for it. Like,
oh yeah.
Like, it's basically it says, so girls, will you please take the wheel? Because we're out of control. Like, like women need, women need to rule the world, which, I mean, coming from a guy with like 4 sisters, like, I feel like he gets it.
What? Good. They've taught you well, Joe. Good for acknowledging that.
We'll skip over the white powder line in this.
You and me just eye each other and we smirk. We're like, okay.
But it's just, I mean, it says it's your train that gets hit. You blame the government. Too bad it's oneers cracking heads. So again, this is like, whose fault is it? Like the government or those 1% people who are like controlling all of the money in the country? Like, it's,
and I can only imagine seeing the state of the world over the last couple of years, and then like for a while he was living in Los Angeles. I can only imagine how insufferable that is, and maybe kind of like lost like the finger on the pulse of like making good art and being surrounded by like passionate, true people. Yes, they're in Los Angeles as well, but probably saw a lot of like overconsumption and greed and like excess, just like that you're like, I gotta get away.
The money. It's like the whole song is just about like the issues with like people just wanting money and just being fucked up, like, and men being fucked up.
Yeah. Hello. Yeah.
So that's a cool song. And then the last one that I think has some really weird lyrics is Awake.
Okay.
Which I love Awake. It's really cool. But like, again, there's a ton of really weird shit. Like, what does this mean? How does it feel? Rejection classic, cockeyed proselytize, single sentence sonnet, wring that chicken's neck, dog-eared like a rocket. It's a little bit just like nonsense.
Go choke a chicken. He literally has even said like most of it is nonsense.
Yeah.
It was just him
Which
like
is
going
cool.
with it.
And like there's like Beatles songs that are like that. Like that I think are really cool. Like just like it's like it's just like playing with words in like a way that like sounds cool and like
it doesn't have to have this huge deeper meaning.
Exactly.
Yeah, and he was like he found a really good song, and I mean sound, and I love that everyone was like, this sounds like it belongs in the newest Batman with Robert Pattinson. Like it's just so moody, and like you see it like being played at night, and it's like I'm awake now, which I love that it's the last song of the album, which then bridges you into Lonesome is a State of Mind, because it's still moody and stuff, but it kind of is the perfect bridge to the OG album, because I'm like, yeah, you're awake now. You're now seeing how things are.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, I love that too. And I mean, seeing this live, he opened
Oh my God.
the Another Bite tour shows with this song, and I don't know if he did it at that one show that was before New Haven, that was kind of like that weird show at a college campus.
The New York one, yeah.
I'm not sure if he did. He probably did, but I kind of like tried not to like look at too much of that, because I wanted it to be like a surprise when we saw him in New Haven. So when we like saw this live for the very first time,
we were like,
it was insane. But like it was also just really cool to see it in Kansas City, just like right in front of him, and just like that beat drop and like the lights, and it's like red. It's like very cool, like red lights for like most of the song, and they're like all walking onto the stage, like all of his bandmates, and like joining in as he's singing. And then it like has that beat drop that like goes crazy, and like the lights go all crazy. Like that was very fun.
Anything was gonna top Runner, because we know like Runner with the the light boards and stuff. I was like, perfect opener. Nothing can top that. And I was really surprised, but I wasn't mad about it that he did Awake, because you and I just looked at each other in New Haven and we're like, oh my God. And it's just like, it's so moody, and rhythmic. And then when he just like starts shredding on the guitar and stuff, the entire place goes nuts, and we got to witness it the next night, and then you saw it again a few more times. But that was the only one that we had witnessed him perform off the Crux Deluxe, which I'm hoping, I find it maybe a little unlikely he'll do it when he opens for Tame Impala, but he might for the solo shows add a few more. I hope so, because we're like literally like these different flares and stuff that he does doing songs live. It's a completely different experience. And I agree, the lighting, first of all, I manifested Play Ugly Fisherman, You Cowards.
I know,
the fact
you
that
did.
D-Side's got their fucking day to shine in the sun, love listen, but the lighting too, like you get a light show as well.
Yeah.
Guys, I cannot stress enough, if you ever get the privilege of seeing him, go and do it. You will get your money's worth. But opening with Awake, it sets a mood.
Yeah. And it makes me very excited. Like, I mean, we have just about like less than 2 months until I get to see him open for Tame Impala, and I'm going to one of the solo shows. So like just to see what the set list is going to end up being for those shows is going to be so cool. To see the lights and shit that they're able to do at these arenas for the Tame Impala shows.
I heard the Tame Impala one. It's amazing.
Like, yeah, we're going to be in for a treat for sure. So I'm super excited.
I'm really excited too. And like, I love that he's doing a few solo shows and stuff, because it makes you, of course, go, I wonder what the merch is going to look like. I wonder what the lighting is going to look like.
Yeah.
What's the set list? Because obviously it's just him. So what's it going to look like? And as a fan, that's always exciting, especially if you suspect maybe he might do some of these live, which a lot of them would sound great live off this album. But my last song was Try Me, which, man, he was feeling his Cheerios. He's been a little sassy. And I'm like, this was basically the prequel to Basic Being Basic. And I saw on TikTok somebody said that this song reminds them of the theme of DuckTales, and now I can't unhear it.
God.
It's literally, if you listen to them side by side, I'm like, he was
I
a
mean,
90s
the
kid, I get
DuckTales
it.
theme was pretty banging.
Oh, woo. Yeah, I'm like, that went way too hard. But I feel like this was the shift, like with his healing journey or anybody's journey after getting your like heart stomped. And, you know, like I said, this was the Basic Being Basic of, you know, the Crux Deluxe. And yet instead of calling out the person that broke his heart, it seems, and this is my interpretation, he's calling out the conversation with the person that they're with now. And I like that he's kind of like telling this person like, oh, so it's almost like you're like, you ever do this? I do it all the time. You have a two-sided argument by yourself in the shower. Like, and I do it like, literally you could be like, well, this is what I would have done. I always win every argument when I'm by myself in the shower. I like going, this is what I should have said. And guys, it's crazy. Sometimes I have like conversations that have been gone and done over years from now. And it's like, yeah, I remember that time that person pissed me off once at work. This is what I should have said. I'm in the shower, like talking into my conditioner bottle like I'm a fucking maniac naked. And I'm like, yeah, nah, nah. So I'm like, this kind of gave that energy, like the perfect things to say. And it's such a good release because in Joe's business, you know, this conversation, it could have happened or maybe it was in his mind, but basically the writing's on the wall and it's trading in a beat up truck, which I'm like, Joe, do you see yourself as that? If you are, you're a classic pickup Chevy. Don't you worry. For the shiny brand new car, which it's almost like that saying, did this person get bored and the grass was greener on the other side? Or to quote Euphoria, the grass is always greenest around the septic tank, which I'm like, that is true. You thought you had the new exciting hot thing. Was it going to be as good as it was? And I love that he just keeps going like, you know, you think that you're going to, like, they're going to love you like I did. And, like, apparently this king has a thing for queens. Like, they have a certain type and stuff. Like, you know, and I just love that he's like, good luck. You think this new person won't maybe pull the same shit you pulled with me? Best of luck. You know, I just love that it's like, okay, well, you kicked me to the curb to upgrade, you know, and this could even be in a friendship, you know, like, oh, you traded, you know, me a good friend, someone who's faithful and a good person that cared about you for what seemed like a better choice, like the cool people, you know, and I've seen it happen with relationships all the time. They think they're upgrading and really you're like, okay, meet somebody else that's going to be as patient and as devoted. So I love that it was just like that part where it picks up and he goes round and around. I want to see that performed live. Like, of course, Purgatory Silver Star is my favorite, but if he did Try Me, which maybe he won't because that's a little like when he was really heated, but the whole like, fuck you, I'm out. Like, I feel like that part of the song is just so like crazy and upbeat and like manic. I'd love to see him perform it.
Yeah.
Like him grabbing hands with Trey and then maybe doing like the do-si-do. That'd be great.
Round and around. That's really funny. I like the double meaning though of like try me, of like the whole song is like he's like saying that you should try me because I would be better, but also like try me as in like fight
Try me.
Like
yeah. Imagine Joe Keery with that bandana on going, what? And I'm like, sit down. Sit the fuck down, little boy.
Yeah. So
but I
it's
have
fun.
to commend this album. It's, you know, it's definitely, like I said, weird, sad, gritty, dark. It definitely, you can tell he was going through it and the journey and process he made and perfect bridge to the crux. And like I said, we're spoiled. We're so lucky as fans, but I'm now curious with these shows coming up. Will there be more tracks from this album on there? Because you know what? I think especially nowadays, guys, like it's a beautiful message that if you're going through it, you're going to end up on the other side.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Yeah, I'm definitely excited to see what from this album might get played at the shows this summer. And also,
gun to your head, if you had to hear one new song off this album live, what would it be?
Mr. Montbank.
Good one.
Yeah.
She wants to hear about the piss pot.
Who's the cuck?
Feeling like a jelly roll.
So, but also, it, like you said, it's just such a perfect balance of like fun, but like emotions and just, like all the messiness of like life. I don't know. So
if somebody like Joe Keery can go through that messy journey, we all are, and then some. So,
you got this,
like
guys.
We got this. We got this. We're gonna all meet at the glory hole. Don't worry.
The glory hole on the other side of everything, and eat some jelly rolls.
One drops on the floor, and I'm like, should I pick it up and eat it? Do you think anybody saw?
That's so gross. I think you had some cool merch that you wanted to talk about.
Massive shout out to my buddy Mark. He sent me some really cool Stranger Things themed slime, which I did ask him the business that he bought it off. It's an Etsy shop. I don't think they have an Instagram, but they're called Coco Slime Factory, and they have Stranger Things themed slimes. And I was actually on the phone with Megan because there's like activator and stuff that you're supposed to mix it all together with like the stars and the glitter. One was Scoops Ahoy themed. It looked like an ice cream sundae with like nautical shit. It was adorable. The other was Starcourt, which, girl, I might have put a little too much activator in it because it got really hard, but then I fixed it. But it came in really cute cases, which Mark said that he actually did himself with stickers. But he gave me like extra bottles, and he was like, yeah, if you want to, send some to Megan, which I'm like, Megan. So that'll be in that package that, we'll get to you any day now, any day. But huge shout out to Mark. And also he sent me a really cute sticker. He hasn't yet told me like where he got it from, but it's of Joe just singing. And last night I had a little too much fun putting that on my Stanley.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? This is joy. This is whimsy.
It was a cool sticker.
Right? He looks good.
Mm-hmm.
But shout out to Mark. Big shout out. I was talking actually to one of my favorite shops and small businesses and artists in this community. I have been buying from them and supporting them, their artwork, their merchandise for years now. But shout out to Boo Mail. Big applause to them, Bree that runs it. Boo Mail is a shop on Etsy. They're also on Instagram. And they do like pop culture, horror, like different fandoms, mostly Joe Keery, a little bit of Joseph Quinn, but a big focus is Joe. And they were selling Keery and Joe merch before he really even blew up. And some of the stuff that, they crank out, even like they do post-animal stuff, it is, first of all, affordable, which, to be a fangirl nowadays, even if it's not official merch, you don't want to buy knockoffs and stuff, but also sometimes you can't afford the official stuff or you just don't like it, So this is supporting a really like good small business, and I love that she's a fan too, because she knows as a fan of Joe what other fans want. So it's affordable, it's creative, it's original, it's very niche. Something that I love is like those original physical ticket stubs that you can get.
Yeah, they're so cool.
It's so cool because now in a digital age, like you don't get that like you used to. And it's a beautiful souvenir, and you can customize it according to what tour you went to, what date, what venue. And she's very like just such a sweetheart to work with. But she, does jewelry, custom buttons, holiday cards, recently coasters and mugs. She's done buttons, stickers, pins. She has a lot of Crux Deluxe stuff, which is amazing. I own a few things, as well as screen prints and stuff and artwork. She has like mystery bag phone charms, which is which Joe Keery character will you get. It's amazing. But constantly has new stuff getting cranked out. And she actually wanted me to shout out this new thing that's available on her shop for the last few months, Letters from the Chateau, which I find so cool. It's actually this like a Joe-themed mail club, which at random, the artist, the owner, will pick a different Joe song per month. And that will be the theme of the like snail mail. She'll send it in an envelope to you. And it could include whatever will fit in the envelope, such as the monthly newsletter, which is awesome. Stickers. Let's see, like you might sometimes get some real cool like mini prints and stuff. You might get bookmarks. And it's all having to do with the theme of the song she picked. So for April Fools, she did Fool. And it was just full of so many little goodies and like really niche niche, original, cool stuff. And the attention to detail is truly amazing. This past one was the Crux for May, and I'm expected to get mine soon, but it's so cool because she has this little coloring activity sheet, which is the Crux Hotel that would look like if it belonged in a coloring book, and you're supposed to design your own Crux thing. Like little creative things like that.
That's really fun.
I'm obsessed with. She has a stamp set with like the Crux key and stuff. Very, very cool. And she even said sometimes I might do like a twist, like say I pick a song, but I'm like, okay, well, picture it. And I'm going to just spitball guys here. Like we're going to do like Purgatory Silver Star, but with a Western theme or a Gothic theme or something. She's such a talented artist and a fan herself, so I'm really glad. And how you can do it is you message her on Etsy if you're interested in purchasing, because it's not like this membership that you have to do and then unsubscribe. It's per month. So say you weren't interested, you weren't vibing with the song she picked for like, say, June, you can skip that month, but you like July, you message her directly and you sign up. It's super, super reasonable for the amount of stuff you get. But that's just like this, like, I don't know, it's always fun to receive something in the mail like that as a fellow Joe fan. And it's just so creative. And I've really been trying to push, unfortunately, a lot of, big companies like Netflix, they're cracking down on independent artists in small shops, which it's almost like punishing fans.
Yeah.
And, this is a way to support an artist in a small business in the right way. And honestly, like her, like Joe merchandise, it's a majority of my collection. It's just so adorable and just niche. But I was talking with them, and since she's awesome, which we will be including with our social media, if you enter in all cap locks, Rockin' Robin, that will give you a 20% off coupon for your final purchase if you shop at her shop, Boo Mail, on Etsy.
Yeah, I think it's Rockin' with no G. So ROCKIN ROBIN.
Look at you.
I won the spelling bee a couple years,
Fucking course you did. You piss pot jelly roll. But that coupon will be available through June, which was incredibly generous and kind of her. So just definitely check out Boo Mail and enter in that code so you can get a discount on some really cool original Joe items.
Yeah, Bree's super sweet. We were in line for the Brooklyn show and at the Brooklyn show together. So I was excited to be able to meet her in person for sure.
Oh, I would have fangirled for sure.
All right. Well, that's cool. Any more merch to talk about?
As of right now, that's about it. I'm sure I'll be, fighting the good fight. A lot of people have been very generous and awesome and, just helping me with my collection. And really, I should be packing shit up. I'm like, no, to quote Joe, more.
I'm going to celebrate you because you said you did pack up a couple totes of Stranger Things stuff.
I did. I had to move everything a little bit to the right because I didn't want my 1995 air conditioning unit to leak on my Joe collection. I'm like, no. So I shifted everything and I was like, you know what? I said that the living room, because this is the room I hang out in, it's pure serotonin. Surround yourself with stuff you find visually pleasing and make you happy, people. And I said, this is going to be the last room to pack up. But then I was like, wow, I have a lot of stuff that you can't even see because it's just so crammed in there. So I emptied out a tote, and then I started filling up with a bunch of Stranger Things stuff, breaking down all my Eggo pink waffle boxes. I went, this was a Stacy problem. I own far too many. And I couldn't bring myself to throw any out. But I packed up my first, tote of my collection. And I'm like, look at that. Progress, people.
Celebrate that progress.
Woo, woo.
All right, good for you. But I hope that you had fun talking about the Crux Deluxe.
Guys, she was dangling this carrot in front of me for a while, and I went, we won't do Joe many episodes because we bit off a little more that we could chew then. But I was like, let's just do one just us. And I'm so glad that we gave this a listen, especially when we did. So much fun. Hoping we can hear some live. And it was just fun talking about Joe.
Yeah.
My man.
Good timing to get excited for the summer shows for sure.
We're pumped. Now, Megan, where can they find us?
Hang out with us mostly on Instagram. The podcast is at Skull Rock Broadcast. I'm at Steady Stories. Stacy is at Stay Still Reviews. We're also on TikTok. Not quite as active on there, but we also have a Patreon, which there's some cool bonus content. You can get ad-free first access to all of our new episodes. We post some video content. Our video episode from our episode last week should be up by now, by the time that you're listening to this. Stacy does some fun taste tests. So it's a good time, and we really appreciate everybody who does support us on Patreon, just because it makes it a little bit more sustainable to keep making the show and making it the best it can be for your listening experience. So
Absolutely.
We love you guys. Come hang out with us, and we'll talk to you soon.
Over and out.
Over and out. Peace.